Hi, good morning guys. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel, or if you're new here, thank you so much for being here. My name is Wiesje and today I finally have part 2 regarding my revision rhinoplasty. I know some of you have been waiting. I received some messages and I know it's a little bit later. My first part obviously came out like almost straight after surgery. I think like 1 or 2 weeks. I actually think it was early because I remember I had the tape on. After that I have been recording videos about skincare, about beauty products, but the part 2 took a little bit longer just because at 6 weeks I was still really swollen and I felt like I was still very much in the recovery process. I am now today 9.5 weeks, so I'm almost at my 3 months actually. And yes, I'm just gonna answer your questions. The last time I really talked about how my experience was in Turkey, how my experience was in the hospital, and why I did my revision rhinoplasty. And today I'm just going to talk about more probably the ugly side of any, well, probably any kind of surgery, but about the nose surgery. I'm going to talk about recovery. I'm going to talk about things that maybe people do not mention. And yes, I'm just gonna try to do my very best to give you as much information as possible. I have my phone here because I did one of those question boxes on Instagram and I got a lot of questions, so I have them here with me. I'm just gonna dive straight in. First of all, I'm just gonna say a few things myself first. What I mention now, what I notice now, I mean, the recovery overall goes really well, so I actually do not have any massive complaints. What I do very much notice is that my upper lip is still very stiff. I went out for dinner last Friday and we took a picture with my best friend and my boyfriend, and maybe I can actually show you the picture so then you can see what I mean. It's like if I smile like this, it's kind of okay, but if I smile and try to show my teeth, I just generally cannot really. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I mean. Do you see? It looks really odd, but that's all I can give at the moment. So this is it. So it kind of like feel like this is just very numb. It's absolutely normal. It's nothing to be worried about, and it already is a lot better than it actually was a few weeks ago. It was even worse. But that's something that I do notice. Yeah, I found a picture, so I will just zoom in on me. I don't know if this works, but yeah, show you what I mean. You will see a part of my boyfriend too. Look, like I'm really trying to actually smile, but it's just not really happening. So that is something that I do notice. So my upper lip is still numb. I am still obviously very swollen, and it goes like that. So it goes up and down. I have good days and I have bad days. We flew to the Netherlands last week. I'm not sure exactly which day anymore, but before that I already felt that I had quite a swollen nose. I felt my whole face was puffy again. And it can happen with anything you eat, or not drinking enough water, or maybe I slept a little bit more flat. All these things can obviously, maybe even hormones, like all these things can obviously play a part in your body and in your swelling as well. But I felt a little bit puffy, and then when I flew to the Netherlands, it was only obviously 45-50 minutes flight, very short, but I was a lot more swollen after that. So that is a little bit uncomfortable, but I try not to focus on it too much because I know it's a process. You know, I know it's something that I need to, you know, kind of go through, and it is just what it is. You can't really change it. But the swelling definitely goes up and down. So in the morning when I wake up, I still need to tape my nose, which I am fine with. I'm fine to tape my nose. The only issue with that is that it's not so kind to my skin. Obviously every morning I need to remove the tape, and actually I think at the moment I do have here some redness going on, just because it's not that the tape is that sticky, but it's more that I think my skin is still quite sensitive, and then when I remove the tape every morning it's the same movement you make. I am very, very careful, but yes, that is something that I do notice as well. I also still wear my nostril container. That is like a little container in the nostrils, which basically helps with the shape of the nostrils. Perfectly fine. You can perfectly breathe through them, so I don't have any issues. I tape till 3 months and I wear the nostril container till 3 months, so I'm technically almost there. Obviously my recovery might be different to yours, so this is what the surgeon recommended to me, but obviously we all have different kind of procedures, and so what they will say to me might be different to you, but that are my instructions. Then also in the night I still sleep with my travel pillow. I am a good sleeper, and I know some of you are really freaking out about the sleeping. I am actually good to sleep on my back. It's either back or side. I never sleep on my stomach. So I am actually perfectly fine sleeping on my back. I think the first week actually in Turkey when I was there, that was the hardest part. But here I am fine. So I know that a lot of people who go through the recovery, they say, oh my god, the sleeping is so difficult. But for me, not really. I'm gonna lay down and I'm off. I still do use the neck pillow just because I'm scared to move on my side, even though I can technically now sleep on my side. I like to use the neck pillow, so even if I turn a little bit, it's just my kind of head turning. So that's just for my own comfort and peace of mind. So I sleep with 2 pillows, not like completely like straight, but just a little bit higher. 2 pillows and then the neck pillow as well. That works great for me. And then in the night, obviously I do the taping and I do the nostril container. Then I am also back into the gym. So I went back to the gym at 6 weeks. At the moment I am doing cardio only. Back before the surgery I was very into the classes. I am not comfortable yet to do the classes, just because they are obviously a lot more intense and more quicker, sometimes jumping, and that's something I'm not really ready to do just yet. Overall the gym goes really well and I don't really notice a lot with my nose. However, because I go in the morning, I go basically before I start work, anything like that, I go very early. I still basically go swollen to the gym because in the morning I still look puffy. I don't put any makeup on, I just put a little bit of SPF on and I make my way to the gym. When I come back and when I'm on the treadmill, I do feel that my nose sometimes when I get really hot it gets swollen more. But you know, again, one of those things, I'm really happy that I'm back in the gym, because yeah, before the surgery I went almost every day, if not every day at least, to do something. So that was a difficult part about my recovery, to not be able to go to the gym, but I will get about that one later on today as well, when we're gonna do the questions. But yes, that was for me just such a relief that I'm able to work out again. Then the breathing part, lots of questions about the breathing as well. My breathing is perfect, honestly, so good, better than before surgery. In my first video I inserted a picture for my actual nostrils and they were very collapsed. I never knew. My surgery was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Obviously I'm not a surgeon, but I thought I don't want to make huge changes. Kind of obviously, in my opinion, I thought it's not going to be a huge surgery. I know a revision rhinoplasty is a difficult surgery and you need to be very skilled, but I never knew that it was actually going to be such a mess inside the nose. So yes, it was a very difficult surgery. Looking back now, I realize now that probably my breathing after the first surgery wasn't great at all. I can now smell so much, like so much. Not always a good thing, but yes, I smell everything and I breathe really well. It's weird because my nostrils, they are smaller. They have like a different shape now, but they feel bigger. They feel open. It's like, it's so interesting, but it's so good. So I'm actually really pleased with that, because obviously health and safety is the most important thing about this whole procedure. You want to be able to breathe well, and you know, it's so important that the surgeon works in a safe way and makes your nose work really, really well. And my nose is working perfectly fine, so I'm so pleased with that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to the questions. I made screenshots from them, so I got them all here. I have to say, a lot of the questions also were about the fees, and I told you guys in my first video I won't tell you about what I paid, because I think it doesn't really make sense, especially because all surgeries are different and my fee might be different to yours. I was a revision. A revision is always a little bit more expensive, I believe, because it's a more difficult procedure often, and I don't want to confuse anyone with the fees. Plus, I literally booked my surgery almost a year in advance, and I think all the prices always go up over time. So I had my surgery done last Feb, but I booked it almost a year prior to that. So the fees now might be different, so I don't want to give too much information. However, I'm happy to share it, but just privately. I don't want to put it in the video. So if you really want to know what I've paid, then feel free to DM me on my Instagram, and I'm more than happy to discuss. But obviously fees depends on a number of things, okay? What I can say is that the fee that I paid for my surgery included the 8 nights in the hospital, in the hotel. Was it 8 or 9 nights? I think it was 8 nights in the hotel in Istanbul. It included also all the hospital fees. It included a night in the hospital. It included transfers, so from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel to the hospital. They really pick you up, drive you around, bring you back to the airport at the end of your stay as well. So that is all included. So I went for the all-included package, basically. The only thing what isn't included is your plane tickets. So you need to book your plane tickets separate, which was fine for me. I booked it well in advance. And obviously the food, the breakfast is included, which is amazing. The breakfast is so good. I still miss it. I generally still miss it. And the worst thing is that obviously after rhinoplasty, I couldn't taste for like, I think 2 or 3 days. So I missed out on a lot of nice food. I had it, I was eating it, but I didn't taste it so well. So that was so annoying. But the day before surgery and the days after, when my taste was back, I really made the most of it. Just quickly drinking something. But yeah, I mean, the breakfast is amazing. So good. And so was the dinner, actually. Me and my best friend ordered room service every day in the hotel, and it was definitely not expensive. We didn't spend much there, so that was also amazing. The rooms were so lovely. The care was amazing, so good. But let me go to the questions, and then we're gonna discuss everything. Right, let me see where I'm gonna start. Right, so the first few questions are all about the fees. When was your first surgery? My first surgery was in 2016 in London, so with a different surgeon. It was in London in March, I remember. I think it was the 16th of March or something. So yes, it was in 2016. My revision surgery was on the 15th of Feb 2022. So this year. Are you feeling paranoid that someone will accidentally touch your nose? Yes, I am. It's awful. I don't want to live in this constant fear, but because it's so early days, I am definitely paranoid. Like, I am like looking around. I'm very careful with my boyfriend, and yes, I am definitely like on the lookout for, like, you know, things not to happen. I know over time that we'll get better, because the first time I felt like this as well. Now a little bit more, because obviously it's a revision and I don't want to go through this again. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm very satisfied with the results and I don't want to touch my nose again. So yes, I am definitely careful, very, very careful. But I know these things over time will get better. And plus, I'm already almost 3 months post-op, but still, I don't want it to happen. Definitely not. Was it Clinichub UK? Right, so was it Clinichub UK? So Dr. Yusuf, the surgeon that I had my surgery of, Dr. Yusuf Orhan Ucal is his name. They also call him Dr. U for short. The company is Clinichub, and Dr. U works for Clinichub basically. So you are in touch with the girls or the boys from Clinichub. So they look after you, they are your patient coordinators, they sort everything out for you. So yes, it was through Clinichub. Now this person asking, was it through Clinichub UK? I'm not exactly sure because I have been chatting with people with Turkish numbers all the time. And all the girls actually that I met there were all Turkish as well. But I do know that the surgeons sometimes actually, I think a few weeks ago, they actually came to Harley Street to do consultations here as well. So was it through Clinichub UK? It was through Clinichub. Yes, it was through Clinichub. Then, so how much did you pay and what was included? Basically, what I paid for the amount what I paid was everything included except your plane tickets and except your dinner, and obviously if you're going out there or you're going to go shopping, things like that. But the main things such as hotel stay, hospital stay, transfers, all the medication, all the checkups, all things like that are all included. I had a question as well because I had my ear done as well, which I'm very happy with actually. I had like one side ear pinning done, so that's why I was wearing the hairband. I got some questions actually about this hairband, like, oh, I'm gonna do a rhinoplasty, do I need to wear the hairband too? No, you don't. That was just because I got the ear done, so you don't need to wear the hairband if you're only doing the nose. So I also needed certain creams for my ear, that was all included as well. So yes, that's great. And then there was an additional fee for my friend to spend the night with me in the hospital. She also needed the PCR times to stay in the hospital, and obviously there was also an additional fee for her to stay with me in the hotel. But yes, that was all good. So basically she could also use all the facilities. She could use the spa and the gym, which I was really happy about because it was a gorgeous, gorgeous hotel. She's very fit, so I was really happy that she can just go and do her workouts as well, besides being my private nurse. I have a lot of questions about if people could travel alone, yes or no. I think it's a personal decision. I was really, really happy that I wasn't alone. I think with rhinoplasty, I met some girls there who were by themselves. They were perfectly fine. I was really happy that I had my best friend with me, especially because I think the day before the surgery I was quite anxious, I was quite nervous, and it was just really nice to have her around and to chat to her and to share my thoughts. And also we went into Istanbul to see the city and things like that, so it was also really, really nice to actually explore the city, which was really, really good as well. So I was really happy. Plus also I always think that 2 pair of ears heal more than one. So with all the follow-up instructions, the medication, especially if you're straight after surgery, you can feel a little bit tired, you can feel a little bit all over the place, and she was there and she really took charge of all that, so that was great for me. Honestly, I was so happy she was there. Very, very thankful. So for me, it really helped me that I did have someone with me, but I also know a lot of people go by themselves and they are all perfectly fine. So I think it's completely up to you. You can definitely do both. We did feel extremely safe as well. I just felt fragile, so you know, with like the whole packaging on, the hairbands, things like that. So going out, it's a very busy city. Like, I thought London was busy, but that is busy, like a lot of cars. So yeah, it's one of those things that for me, it was lovely that she was there, definitely. Were you comfortable with the doctor and his team? Yes, absolutely. Straight away, I have been talking with the team obviously for a very long time. I had a lovely patient coordinator. Her name is Elif, and she is just the best, like so nice. She looked after me so well. So basically she did everything prior to the surgery, so everything what needed to sort in me being here in England basically, so the whole booking process and things like that, she helped me with that. And then arriving in Istanbul, I got a different coordinator, and they were all so lovely. I'm still now in touch with them. If you have any questions, you just have a groups app, you can chat to them, you can ask them questions. I had a question yesterday about when can I wear sunglasses again. I forgot, I did thought it was 3 months. It is 3 months, but you know, in like a very short period of time you have an answer back. So they are so good. They also keep checking up on you, so they are just the best, honestly. They such nice people. Then the surgeon, he's an amazing surgeon. He's very kind, he's very realistic, extremely honest, and he works safely. So I am so pleased that I went with him, honestly. It's, yeah, no, I felt extremely safe and very pleased with the care, definitely. Consultation being right before the surgery, was there enough time to agree on expectations? That's a very good question. You can do consultations prior to your surgery. I did a lot of research, guys. I did so much research, and I was very set on Dr. Yu, very set. I did apply, or I did ask for a online consultation. Basically, it's a phone. I think it's a video call with Dr. Yu, and obviously we had a little bit of time difference going on. I was extremely busy with work, like all the time, and there were a few spots, and somehow that was when I was abroad. Like I was on a holiday, and then we had a huge time difference as well. So I said I just can't make it because it was like 3 AM or something. But I said it's fine, you know, it's fine, I know what I want. And I went in with like an open mind, being realistic at the same time as well, which I think is very important. And we had all the time, like it wasn't rushed at all. Plus also obviously he's seen pictures, so I already knew what he would be able to do and what not. Like not like obviously exactly, but I did have an idea. Then also I have been messaging with him on Instagram as well, so I didn't feel rushed, and I actually felt completely fine with this approach. However, I feel that if you would like to have a video consultation, obviously go for it, definitely. What people also do is, I know he also does consultations in his clinic prior to the surgery, so you could arrive a few days earlier and then do it in his office or in his clinic like that. That's obviously fine as well. But yes, no, I saw him prior to surgery in the hospital, and I was completely fine with that, absolutely. What's the process to schedule and book the surgery with Dr. Yu? So the process is that you basically contact through the website. You then either get a message or you get an email, anything like that. I received a WhatsApp message, and that's how we start chatting. So they will ask you at a certain point what your expectations are, what would you like to achieve, things like that. Then they will ask you to send pictures as well. So from all sorts of angles you need to send pictures, and they will also send you a simulation from the kind of idea what is possible. And hi guys, sorry, the camera just stopped. But yes, the process about booking with Dr. Yu. So then when Dr. Yu has seen the pictures and has looked at your expectations and your medical history and what you would like to achieve, things like that, then you will hear back from him and see if he will be able and happy to proceed with your surgery. If that's a yes, then you will look into a date. And you will look into a date with your coordinator. If you wish to proceed with that date, you pay deposits. The deposit for me was, I believe, around £250. And that goes towards the surgery. As soon as you pay your deposit and they receive the payment, you receive your whole initiatory in a PDF document by email. There's everything in there, such as things like where you're staying, address, your basically your files before the surgery, what to do, what not to do, instructions, consent forms, all these things. Your final surgery fee, which you also already receive in the text message, obviously before agreeing. So that's all in your file, which is really, really good. And then you're done. And then closer to the date of surgery, you will be contacted again. Obviously, you have their numbers, so any questions you can always contact them. But I think 2 weeks before surgery, they will also they asked me to also for my flight number, what time I would fly, things like that, what time my friend would fly, because obviously she would come from the Netherlands, so we would meet each other actually in Turkey. So all these things, they ask for all these details as well, and it's just really, really good. Honestly, why did you decide to go to Dr. Orhan? Was there any special reasons? Yes. What I really liked about his noses is that they are natural. They are not all the same style, and I saw that he was really honest in different videos. So I did quite a lot of research. I saw different YouTube videos about him, and I saw that he was very honest and very realistic, which I really, really liked. I really liked his approach and the way he would explain things. He wouldn't overpromise at all, and I also saw that he had a lot of experience in revisions. So I thought, yes, definitely. That's the one for me, you know. I was actually quite soon very, very set on him, even though I did so much research. But no, I really like the way he works, so that was it for me. And also, he's a really nice guy, so that's also very important. Like, he's such a kind person. Right, let's go to the next one. Process we did. Oh, thank you. Someone's saying, your nose looks amazing and it suits your face very well. It's really, really sweet. Do you think your doctor is able to fix extremely botched noses after rhinoplasty? Oi, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, he is extremely skilled in revisions, but obviously I don't want to say yes he is and then he might not be able to do a case, or no he is not. And you know, it's like one of those things that I feel he's extremely skilled in revisions. So I would say you do need to contact him or his team and then take it from there. That will definitely be the best way forward. But yes, I really hope that you find a surgeon that can help you, because honestly I know how stressful it is. Sorry, I'm just reading through the would you recommend the doctor, and are you happy with your results? Yes, absolutely. I would definitely recommend him. I recommend him so much in my first video. I could not thank him enough. Like, I am extremely happy. My nose was a mess, like a real mess, and I didn't know how bad it was. Like, I just knew that I didn't like the look of it, but I didn't know it was such a mess from the inside. And he did a great job, and I personally feel that it suits my face, so I am very happy. Like, I would highly recommend him. Honestly, highly recommend him. Tell us something that nobody ever... Oh, where's the question? This is... Sorry. Tell us something that nobody ever mentioned that you experienced. I don't know if people never mention this. They probably do. But I think the mental side of it, like, it's a journey. Like, it's extremely difficult, I think, with the nose, is that I believe personally that if you would like to do any kind of nose surgery, that you don't decide that overnight. Like, that is something that is going on and on and on for absolute ages. Most people are unhappy with their nose from a very young age. Like, that is something that they carry with them for like a very long age. That they're very young age, they're very insecure about it. For me, I can't even remember when I've not felt insecure about my nose. In my head, I felt like it was always there. And that starts from a really, really, really young age. Like, and I don't want to sound dramatic, but what I want to say is that when you go through the change of like getting a different nose, your face is changing, but it takes time that your mind is changing too. And that's the difficult part, because I feel that now it's a lot better, but when it's swollen, for example, I can still feel insecurities about it, even though I know it's like so much better. This is like the best version of how my nose can be, and that is an interesting part, and that can be tiring. And you know, on days like that, or like not even days, but like moments like that, I try just to what I say to everyone anyway, not to make selfies. Like, stay away from your bloody camera. Like, put that phone on the side, put that camera on the side. Don't look at yourself too much. Don't be obsessed about it, you know. Don't be obsessed about it. Keep your mind busy. Like, do things, do other things, like go out for a walk, or you know, go to the gym, or go for coffee, meet up with friends, you know, get some exercise done, do some retail shopping, like retail therapy, like anything, but not getting obsessed about your nose. And I know that's difficult. I do know that's difficult, because I had days that I was like really looking at it, you know, and I was asking my boyfriend like, oh, you know, do you think it looks good? Like, things like that. And now I'm like, you know, it's the mind. So I think the most difficult part is the mind. Like, you need to get that, like, that whole nose thing straight in your mind. And that can be tough, because it's an insecurity that, you know, you carry for a long time. And because it's a lot more in your mind when you do look in the mirror. I don't want to say you still see the old picture, because that sounds really dramatic, but that's how it worked for me. Yeah, so that is also, as I said in my first video, you know, surgery is not a quick fix, and surgery is not something that makes you a different person. It can change a certain level, for example, of confidence, you know. It can make you more confident about certain things, but there's also inner work to do, you know. It's not only about getting a new body, getting a new nose, getting this, getting that you think, yeah, you know, now I can do this or this or this. It doesn't work like that. It's a lot more to it. So you need to feel good in yourself first before going through the surgery. I truly believe that. Be the best version of yourself in any way, and then when you go through surgery, it will make you feel better, but it won't completely change your life. Honestly, there's a lot more to that. And I know this sounds really deep, but that's truly how I see it. It's one of those things, it's a real journey. So I think with the surgery, that is probably something that maybe definitely people mention, but it's probably something that might not be talked about a lot. So that was for me probably the most difficult part. But yes, then also my nose, I feel is still a bit like, not dirty, but I still obviously really want to clean it. And you need to be obviously very careful, but that's one of those things that I feel like I want to clean it and like completely clean it, but I need to be very careful. So it's like tiny bits. And it's also with the recovery is that your whole face is swollen. It's not only that your nose is swollen. So again, you need to be patient, you need to give it time, try to not focus on it, and then you honestly will be absolutely fine, honestly. Then I saw another one. Truth about how bad the recovery is. You know what, for me the most difficult part was not being able to go to the gym, because the gym just helps me like massively with everything. So for me, not being able to go to the gym was the hardest part. The sleeping, I understand for a lot of people is very difficult, but for me, I was fine with it. And also in the first few weeks, I just didn't feel comfortable to do my full skincare routine. This might sound very, very silly to some people, but skincare is such a huge part of me. And it's honestly the thing that I love doing the most. Like, I could do my skincare all day, every day. And not being able to do that little routine, I just didn't feel like myself, you know? And I think after a few weeks you start to feel more like yourself, and that's just amazing. So that's also something that I thought, yeah, that's just one of those little difficult things. So not working out, not being able to do my full skincare routine. But overall, I mean, the recovery is fine. It's fine. It takes time, and obviously getting out of general anesthetic, everyone have different experiences, but I was fine with that as well. Thankfully, I didn't get sick or anything. I remember I was very cold. I remember I was a little bit cold, but that only lasted, like, in my head, like 10 minutes, and then I was fine again. So yeah, I was just not hungry at all. I was just not hungry at all, but that was it. So for me, the recovery overall is actually okay. It's actually okay. Then I think this is it. I'm afraid of getting the Revision Rhinoplasty. Some tips. Yeah, I think with any kind of surgery, but especially with Revision Rhinoplasty, you need to probably put the pros and the cons on a list. You know, you need to see, sorry. You need to see what would you like to improve on your nose? Is it realistic? Are your expectations realistic? And how much do you want it? Because I felt for me, it was a process as well. After my first surgery, I was never completely happy. Like, I was always a bit like, you know? And then over time, my nose really started to change. And it got worse and worse. And at a certain point, I thought, I really, really want to do it now. But then finding the right surgeon is such a journey, and it's so much like such a headache, and you know. And then obviously life happens and we get busy, and for me there were certain things that I couldn't go ahead with a surgery anyway. So at some point was it my birthday? I paid my deposits on my 30th birthday, and that was something like, I want to get it done. It's extremely important for me to get my nose fixed and to hopefully be satisfied with my nose, because it did bother me enough that I really want to change it. So I think that's something that you need to think about. How much does it bother you? If it doesn't bother you so much, I would definitely recommend not doing it, because it's a big thing, and every surgery has risks, you know. And I feel that with Revision Rhinoplasty, when they open it up, they are seeing what they can do with it and what they can't. So you need to be realistic with what you want. If you are realistic, and if you feel that the changes are going to be made on your nose are going to make you happier, then go for it. If not, you know, and you feel like, you know, I'm okay with my nose now, I don't hate it, I also don't absolutely love it, but I don't hate it, then I would really, really, really think about it, honestly. Because it's not a guaranteed success at the end of the day, okay? So think about it really, really well. Honestly, think about it really, really well, and then you can take your decision from there. Honestly, but yeah, good luck. Yeah, I hope that you that you can make a decision. You know, it's one of those things. It's not easy. It's not easy. I know it's not. I also went back, forth, but because I kept going back, forth, and because I kept thinking about, no, I want to do it, I decided to do it. Sorry, my throat is like, because I'm talking so much. I decided to do it, and I couldn't be happier. Right, I think that I did all the questions. There are a lot of double questions. Yeah, this is it. This is it for now. Right, guys, this was part 2 of my nose journey. I really hope that it was helpful for you, and as I said in my first video, if you do have any questions, feel free to private message me on Instagram. The link will also be below in the description box. Guys, this was it. This was part 2 of my revision rhinoplasty journey in Istanbul. I really hope that this was helpful for you. If you do have any questions, obviously feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm always more than happy to help you with anything. Honestly, I know it can be a very difficult and sometimes very lonely journey. So let me know if I can help you with anything. I hope this was helpful anyway. And if you have any questions, then contact me at any time. My Instagram will be in the description box as well, and I will leave more information there as well. So yes, feel free to contact me anytime, and I hope this is helpful. And thank you so much for watching. See you very, very soon. Bye!